So one thing to keep in mind is the fact that this game is definitely historically accurate, and also took place fairly recently because it is the year 200X, meaning, of course, this took place between 2000 and 2009, at some point, it's fairly recent. But yes, I too of course remember all of those horrible robot attacks that took place. But anyway, this is a really tall building, jeez. What a hell of a skyscraper, why would you choose this building to stand on, Mega Man? God, it goes to space! Now that's just inconvenient. But anyway, this is Mega Man 2 for the NES. Of course, this is one of the most well-known Mega Man games, and some would call it overrated, but screw what those people think. This is a very good game. Not quite as detailed as the later games, but I think it's overall pretty solid and a fair bit better than Mega Man 1 as well. There are two difficulty modes. Normal mode was created for the US and European audiences, I believe? Yeah, I think it was in the European version. Difficult is actually the original difficulty in the Japanese version. I'm gonna stick with normal though. Honestly, it really only makes the damage and health meters different, and it also makes it a fair bit less tedious as well. This time, of course, we have 8 Robot Masters. These guys were actually made by Dr. Wily. Unlike the first game where Wily just took a whole lot of Robot Masters from Dr. Light, these are all his original creations. And honestly, you'll notice a running trend in this game of Dr. Wily not really being able to make robots all that well. Nonetheless, we're starting with Metal Man. Most people start with a stage probably because it's fairly easy, and more importantly, Metal Man's weapon is broken. Now, there are a few differences from the first game. First off, your invincibility frames will save you from spikes this time around. Second off, a lot of sprite flickering, because apparently all those change are just individual sprites and make the game really freak out. These enemies are kind of annoying when they come from below, just because they can kind of come out of nowhere and surprise you. That being said, though, they are great for items, so if for some reason you need to grind, these are good enemies for that. Now, that yellow item we just picked up, that's a health up. The tiny little dots will give you less health than the big ones, and of course the blue thing, that changes color whenever you change your weapons, because Mega Man's color also changes, it reflects his palette. That is a weapon refill. Of course, there's also a smaller version of that, and the decapitated Mega Man head up there is, as per usual, an extra life. Now, Metal Man stage is pretty cool. Decent level design, not really my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of these conveyor belts. I like those enemies, though. The background's alright. I like that there's a lot more moving stuff in the background this time around, unlike Mega Man 1, which was a little bit bland in that department. Later Mega Man games do have more detailed backgrounds, but honestly, this isn't too bad. The music is great, though. Some of the best in the series. There's a really good reason that a lot of the music in this game is remixed quite a bit. By the way, that enemy in difficult mode will actually explode. Its debris will injure you, and then it'll actually reform. It won't explode again, though. But yeah, on normal difficulty, they just explode in one go, so they're very easy to take care of. But anyway, I would like to make special mention to the Hyodane remixes of the Mega Man 2 songs, which are all lyrical, and they all involve the Robot Masters being very gay for Mega Man. So, this is the first boss of the game, Metal Man. He is weak to the Mega Buster. He is, of course, the first Robot Master that Wily made, so that's kind of understandable, but nonetheless, yeah, he's kinda easy, though to be fair, this conveyor belt that he changes up from time to time definitely makes the fight a little harder. Plus, he can really throw those saws in a way that makes them hard to dodge, but he's out of there. Rest in peace, Metal Man. You and your dislike of dogs catching frisbees. No, seriously, he doesn't like dogs, because he does like to practice with discs, but he really doesn't like it when dogs get in the way. This is an actual fact about Metal Man. But anyway, that's the end of Metal Man. No, he's not a dentist. Rap.